Inspiring Talks. I am Rashmi Karve. On the occasion of International Youth Day 2020, we would like to introduce Norway's national level football champion. He was also a football coach for young aspiring minds. So let us welcome Sebastian, the person who listens to his inner voice. He chooses to be happy in all trials of life. Hello, Sebastian. How are you today?
Well, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. So it's such a pleasure for you to be with us today. I had a few questions for you. How did your childhood look like, actually?
Uh, it was kind of a normal childhood, I guess, in Norway. That is, it's just a lot of playtime and a lot of hanging out with friends and stuff like that, being in nature and so on. So yeah, just a regular childhood.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the initiatives that you took to become a national level football champion?
So I always liked football to watch it, especially with my dad, which is a super fan of football and of Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
So because of him, I started to watch with him and found it very funny it was a lot of fun to play football. So yeah, just followed that dream that maybe become a professional and yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. So you just played it with your dad, is what you said, and that just inspired you to go ahead and play football professionally, or probably at the national level that you played. Am I correct?
Yep.
So
Yep.
was there any particular other person apart from your dad who inspired you to take the first move towards the national level football?
Um, well, I always had my idols in football when I watched it, and one of them were Buffon, uh, which is a goalkeeper, or he was a goalkeeper for Juventus. So I kind of loved to be as good as him, and yeah, I guess that's one of my uh, inspirations as well, just to try to become as good as he was.
Right. And while you were a football player as well, you were also pursuing your studies, right? So then, how did you manage with your studies and being a sportsman?
So I went to the United States as a 11-year-old,
Mm-hmm.
and I just absolutely loved the country. And
Uh-huh.
then my dad told me that if you work hard enough, you could maybe get a scholarship and
Mm-hmm.
also play soccer, which it's called in the United States,
Okay.
together with my studies. And
Uh-huh.
I followed that. I knew about that option, and then when I was about to finish my 13 years here in Norway,
Uh-huh.
where with a with a regular school, I um, I got an agent, and he tried to find a place for me in the United States, and yeah, off I went. I got a scholarship, which was 80%, together with my studies in the States, and yeah, suddenly I
That's a
was
good
playing
number.
football, yeah, football and studies at the same time, which was great.
That's a good number. Did you also face any challenges while you were studying and also playing, because you need to practice also because you're a good sportsman. So how did you manage that?
So the studies in the States was a little bit different from what I was used to, but I did okay in school. And then all of a sudden I got a injury in my hand. I was a goalkeeper, so I need my hands. And I was about this head about 5 to 10 hours away from having to cut off my hand.
Oh.
They fortunately didn't have to do that, but it was super close. So then I had to. quit football at a playing level because of that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
That seems to be a real challenge, because once a sportsman, you know how it is, how a sportsman is, he's so enthusiastic, uh, passion towards it. And of course it was your childhood dream, probably, by what you just narrated, I could mention. Is that correct?
yeah. So as a player and stuff, you you're never sitting still. You're always working and working hard because you have to become better and be one of the best. So yeah.
Right. So was there any plan B? Because as you mentioned that there was an injury which was really uh, very close to that. You mentioned, really badly injured your hand. So was there any plan B in your mind that you wanted to pursue your career with?
Well, in my mind, it wasn't really a plan B. I just did have the studies as well, but that was mainly because I wanted to get to the United States and play football or soccer.
Uh-huh.
So that became the plan B, kind of, because I was doing studies and I was doing a bachelor, and then when I had to quit football, that became my option for yeah forever. So yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay. And was there any, you mentioned that you traveled to US as well. Was there any cultural difference or any lifestyle change that you experienced while you were in US and here now you're in Norway? What are the cultural or lifestyle differences?
Well, Norway is a funny country because we take a lot of lifestyles from the US and from England and stuff like that. We don't really have that much culture ourselves anymore. We were Vikings once upon a time, but that's a long time ago. And so we watch a lot of English, not English, or all English, but also American TV shows and movies and stuff. So we take a lot of the culture from the US over here. But maybe the only really big thing was like the big portions of food and stuff. But yeah, that's United States for you. So yeah.
Okay. And also, did you visit any other country apart from US for pursuing your education?
For my education, I went to India for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was for other studies because in the United States and also when I came back to Norway after injuring my hand, I was doing a bachelor in business administration, um, which I didn't really like. And then when I was done with that, I just had the bachelor just as a plan B again, I guess. And then I took a year off to be an assistant teacher. Found out that that was my call in life, and then yeah, I started studies as to become a teacher. And then last year, which was my third year in that study, we had the option to go abroad to be a foreign student,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, one of the options were India. So I found out that that sounded super interesting. I had never been in India, and that was one of my dreams in life to come to India. And then yeah, I suddenly had the option to be there for 6 months.
Uh-huh. So what did you pursue here in India?
So my I have three courses, which is English, social studies, and also I wanted to get physical education in.
Uh-huh.
And then in India, we had the option to get physical education through having gym management and also
Mm-hmm.
yoga.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, in India, I had gym management and yoga, and was loving it because yeah, we had me and another fellow student from Norway. We had never had yoga or anything, and we had only heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, we were in India doing yoga, which was interesting for sure, but a lot of fun. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So how was your experience here in India with the lifestyle, with the different approaches of the people around here? What was your experience? Could you share any insight or any experience that you had?
Yeah, so in one of the big things compared to Norway, where
Mm-hmm.
we follow the time very strict, we had a little issue, especially in the beginning, with the Indian time, as we called it,
Mm-hmm.
where everybody just took their time on whatever they were doing. So if we were doing a document signing or something like that, they told us that yeah, you had to wait for about 10 minutes. That usually meant 50 to 1 hour, which was yeah, that was crazy for us because if you say 10 minutes in Norway, it's usually 9, just to make sure that we are on time. So Indian time for sure was one of the big things for us. And then the culture in itself is super interesting in many ways, and very different from everywhere else in the world, to be honest, and especially in Norway as well. So yeah, no, that was yeah, it was a lot of interesting and different things happening in India, but in a very good way as well. It was a very good experience to bring back home.
Okay, that sounds good. Did you also like the Indian cuisine? Any speciality that you like? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, so thankfully we have Indian cuisine in Norway and other parts of the world as well.
Uh-huh.
So I knew I liked it, and especially tikka masala. But I had never tried chole paturi and also masala dosa. That was two
Ah,
things that I absolutely loved, and that was strange as well because I don't really eat vegetarian at all,
uh-huh.
or
Mhm.
sometimes I do, but not usually. So finding out that two of the veg dishes in Pune was one of my favorites was that was interesting, but especially in a good way though. It was fantastic. So
Right.
yeah.
And so, what are your priorities in life now?
So now I'm studying to become a teacher. Um, Super happy with that. Really looking forward to be done in 2 years. And then I also want to become a football coach again at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, I kind of want to get back in shape as I'm not in shape right now as I was when I played football myself.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, three goals is to yeah, to become a teacher and a good teacher, to become a coach again, and also become fit. So yeah,
That sounds great. So, this is like kind of a mixed bag, being a
yeah,
sportsman and a teacher, and also understanding the student-teacher relation. How effective you are, how effectively you're conveying your thoughts and your education to the students of this youth,
yeah.
right? What's your role model so far? Who's your role model so far?
So now since I'm becoming a teacher, is one of my earlier teachers,
Uh-huh.
which was fantastic in the way that he had super respect from us pupils, especially in the classroom. You did not want to cross his lines or do anything that he didn't like, because he would give you a mark right away. But then again, outside the classroom, he was a fantastic guy as well, and you could make jokes with him, and you still had the respect for him, but it was more loose, and yeah, he was a funny guy as well. So that's definitely one of my role models right now. Just for the fact that he could have a joke and everything like that, but also had the respect in class. So
That's
yeah,
great. So
the
what are the
pupils didn't run around.
right? What are also the creative things that you are doing to connect with your students, whether it is the players on the ground that you might be coaching, or the students that you're teaching English as a subject or any other
Yeah.
subjects that you mentioned?
Yeah.
social studies.
So
How do you
yeah.
connect?
So you have I mean, I'm on social media as well, which is a big part for the generation that is now. So I kind of know about the different medias that they are using.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Gaming is also one of them. So on PC or PlayStation or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I do play myself, or game as they
Uh-huh.
call it, and then so I can talk to them with that as well. But
Right.
also just to use the technology that is right now,
Mm-hmm.
which is just becoming more and more important, I guess, in everyday life, and also in school, is one of the things that I will try to use a lot, just because it's making it a little bit more interesting, and there's so many opportunities to use the technology that we have. So, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
will probably be developed as well while I'm a teacher for hopefully many years. So,
Yeah, that's great. Great to know. Definitely, you will be a very good teacher with so many varieties and variations that you have. You're using the latest technology, using the social media platform to reach out to your students and to many other people, wherein your inspiring stories and your journey is going to be portrayed. So definitely, what you're doing, this basically is what the youth is of today, to speak up their minds, to be who they actually are. Don't you think so?
yep, definitely. So you don't always have to follow what everybody else tells you to, but follow your own dreams and your own hopes, and find out what suits you and your life.
Absolutely. So, what according to you is success?
So success is basically just to be happy with yourself and with your surroundings, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that, as I said earlier, make sure that you follow your own dreams and your own hopes, and also do what makes that suits you, and that you wanted to do with your life. So don't always listen to everybody else and what they think is more important than other things, but do what is important for you.
That sounds great. Now that we all know that your journey so far from being a football player, a national level football player, to becoming an assistant teacher, to becoming a dynamic football coach as well, what is your message to the youth today?
Yeah, follow your dreams. Don't always listen to everybody else. Basic, but very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the key element. Let's put it that way, I guess. Because only once you know what you want to do, I think you can succeed there, right? And with the journey
Yep.
that you just now
And
mentioned, yes, go ahead.
yeah, and so if you find out, like I did, that you are on the wrong path in what you're doing. So, for example, for me, it was the business administration part.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't really see myself in an office, but I did finish it, just to because I was close to finishing the bachelor. But it's not always, or it's not hard. It's hard to quit something that you have started, but it's definitely better to do so than just doing what you're not happy with, um, uh, for the rest of your life. So don't be afraid to turn around and do a 180 on the choices you have in life, and don't be afraid to follow another path if you see that that path is better for you. So
That sounds super. So I'm pretty sure there are many takeaways that the youth is going to take from your story today. It was really a pleasure you being with us today.
yeah, and thank you for having me,
Thank you
and I
so
hope
much.
everybody liked it. Yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely, they will, I'm sure. So thank you so much, Sebastian. It was really a pleasure talking to you.
yeah, no problem, anytime.
Thank you.
Bye.